Okay, so I'm going to talk next about the Jobs Workspace. Just briefly wanted to show you this. This is nested virtualization. I've got um, my clone, which I'm about to turn into a VM template. I've actually scrapped what I did yesterday because it didn't quite work. The system, my bare metal has been up for a week. So I think it was starting to behave rather unstably. Anywho, so I've got my clone of system, my server 16 clone system created for the specific purpose of turning it into a template, running inside my Windows 2016 System Center, running inside Hyper-V out here in the real world. So there we go. The jobs. Actually, let me go ahead and shut this down because I want to make sure this system is okay before I shut it down. Oh, actually, let me get back there. Forgot that. Okay. And close that. Close that. Shut it down. Best to do these things with a VM that's shut down. So while that's doing, the jobs fabric, the jobs workspace is extremely useful. It'll show you everything that's happened on your system over the last 90 days. So, okay, my machine is turned off. Good. And I can close it. Just be patient with these things sometimes. Okay, there's no running jobs. There's a whole bunch of history here. I created my virtual machine. Not supported or ignored. And I can even see some errors. I tried to create a virtual machine called grade server from the template I'm about to create, and it did not work. But you can see all the way back to the beginning of when this thing has only been up for a few days. I added hosts, I created hardware profiles. When you delete a profile, when you remove a resource, and you notice all these things have commands associated with them. Each and every one of these things is a PowerShell commandlet. And the jobs menu will you can actually open the jobs workspace in its own screen if you want to. You can run it. You can see it inside VMM, or alternatively, actually, let me go ahead and close this, close that because I don't need it. And you can see the jobs workspace all by itself. Actually, boom, open the jobs window. And you'll see the same sorts of things. And you're running jobs. Okay, so critical failures. Fortunately, I have none. If you want to see one of these jobs while it's running, double click it, and its details will open up right here. So there's also the settings workspace. Everything from your network settings to your host guardian service settings. Some of these are the network settings page is fairly useless. Library settings, your database connection will show you where your DB is. It's really important to have the MS SQL Server service up and running before the rest of this starts. Okay, so your network settings. Okay, try by. Okay, cancel. Okay, so there's that. Let me show you. Let's actually do this now. Okay, so the jobs workspace, as I said, you'll see most of your jobs, tasks in VM will run as a job in the background, and you can actually see the summary status of those jobs right there on the main screen. But if you want more details, you can go into the Jobs workspace, say right here, you click this. This is all the individual subtask breakdown of creating a virtual machine. Or alternatively, you can actually open that Jobs window. But if you close the Jobs window, it's not like you break that. There's also the Settings workspace, which I just showed y'all. One of the things you can do in the Settings workspace is back things up. It is a good idea to back up your SQL Server. That'll prevent you from that will shorten your downtime in the event of a system failure. You can also use a dedicated utility like SQL Server's Management Studio. There is no functionality built right into the VMM console, but there is a command, the scvmm recover.exe. You may have to run that from the command line. So do your research before you start this. This is another reason you want to test your backups. If you haven't tested the backup, you don't know that you have a backup. You don't know that you can restore that backup under time pressure with the stress that comes with it. So always test your backups. You can also do things, go into the general node. You'll see your diagnostic information, your database connection, your library settings, remote control, host guardian service, etc. The next thing we're going to talk about is user roles, and then the summary. The user roles is particularly important if you're building a cloud for somebody else. What will you allow them to do? So you can have certain users who can, say, tenant admin users who can create new VMs or new templates, and other users who can only really start or stop them, or build a new VM from a template, things like that. So we'll talk about that right away, as soon as I get back, rather. Thank you for watching, and we'll be right back.